welcome to this month's edition of Two Talk. Got a really interesting show for you today, and actually some really big news for Cobb County. But before we get to the big news, let me introduce my guest. With me is Gabe Norris, who is the director of WinShape Camps for Communities.
That's right.
Which is affiliated with Camp WinShape and Chick-fil-A. So why don't you tell folks a little bit about Camp WinShape and WinShape Camps?
Well, the WinShape Camps was started by WinShape Foundation. WinShape Foundation was started by S. Truett Cathy, the founder of Chick-fil-A. And in the early 80s, Truett Cathy and his wife, Jeanette, walked on the backside of Berry College. And they knew, standing on that campus, God's up to something here. The place that we are standing is holy ground.
Which Berry campus is 26,000 acres.
It is an enormous campus with many, many deer on the campus.
And I've heard that there's more deer than there are students.
That's exactly right. So a boys camp was born right there on the mountain campus of Berry College.
Right, Martha Berry formed the boys camp to teach them work skills.
Well, years and years and years ago they did. And then Truett Cathy came and started a boys camp.
Okay.
Rick Johnson was the first boys camp director. And so for decades, there has been an overnight boys camp, WinShape camps there on the backside of Berry College. And then up on the top of the hill, there was an old dairy farm. And they looked at that dairy farm and with cows and all these things taking place up there. And they said, what if we made this a pristine girls camp? And so right there, they transformed a dairy farm into WinShape camps for girls.
Okay.
And now Truett's daughter, Trudy Cathy White, is the director of WinShape camps for girls.
And both those camps are still in existence, right?
That's right. They're 2-week overnight camps.
Okay.
So 10 years ago, we said, wow, this camp is awesome. It is an incredible experience. That's 2 weeks, an overnight camp. And we said, as awesome as this is, think about the number of families from all these communities across the country that are not likely to send their camper to this 2-week overnight experience.
Sure.
But what if we could take the best of everything we've ever learned about camp, and instead of asking people to travel multiple hours out of town to get to a camp, what if we could package a camp and take it to cities?
Okay.
And so we did.
And that's the WinShape Camps for Communities.
That's WinShape Camps for Communities. And we realized early on, this is a phenomenal way for local churches to connect with their community in a non-threatening way. And this is an awesome opportunity for a Chick-fil-A operator and their team to create emotional connections with families in their community.
Okay. And so now the WinShape Camps has been kind of around the country.
That's right.
Been to Chicago. And so where are some of the other places that you've been?
We started in 2 cities.
Okay.
And that was just 9 summers ago. And now 9 summers later, we're in 95 cities across the country.
Wow.
We started with 200 total campers. And now there's close to 30,000 campers that will attend WinShape Camps for Communities in summer 2017.
Wow. Now, the folks that are watching this show right now are kind of wondering where we are because this is not the normal set.
Right.
And there is a reason we are here.
That's right.
We are on the North Campus of Mount Bethel Christian Academy, which is associated with Mount Bethel United Methodist Church.
Right.
And so I think we probably held them in suspense long enough, so let's tell them the big news.
Yep. So for 9 years, we've gone to a city, done camp there for a week, moved on to the next city. Gone to a city, done camp there for a week, moved on to the next city. And we couldn't help but to think, wow, if we've had this much success impacting and transforming communities, what would happen if we didn't just stay for a week, but what if we could stay for 5 total weeks? And what would happen with the impact with those families, those local churches, the local Chick-fil-A's and other organizations if we could stay for a longer amount of time? Well, we studied cities across the country. We studied Chicago, like you mentioned. We studied Houston and several other cities. And after all of our research that we conducted, we learned that East Cobb made the most sense out of all the cities that we studied to bring WinShape camps to for 5 consecutive weeks.
And that's going to start in 2017?
That's going to happen in summer 2017. Well, then after we identified East Cobb as the location for this 5-week-long day camp, we thought, well, what would be an ideal location? Well, we toured local schools. We walked in middle schools and we walked in high schools and we walked in local churches and tried to figure out where would be just the right place. And then all of a sudden, one day, we found out about a 30-plus acre campus on Post Oak Tritt Road.
Which is where we are.
Which is right here where we are, the Mount Bethel Christian Academy, this upper campus. And this campus is unbelievable.
Well, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to meet you outside and let you see what the campus looks like.
Hey, you! Pay attention. This is your frozen holiday turkey. And this is your fryer, full of boiling oil. And this is your frozen holiday turkey in the boiling oil. So now what we got? Your turkey is burnt, your fryer's ruined, and maybe you set your house on fire. Get the point? Don't do this. Be sure your bird is completely thawed before frying. And never put too much oil in your fryer. Always fry outdoors and away from anything that might catch on fire. Be sure to keep children and pets away from your fryer. And finally, always read your owner's manual for proper setup and safety tips. On behalf of Cobb Fire, have a happy and safe holiday season.
All right, welcome back. And as you can see, we've moved outside of the building now, and we're out on the campus. But before we show you the Mount Bethel campus, we have a really beautiful video for you to watch that shows you the wind-shaped camps up at Berry. So let's take a look.
Welcome to adventure. Welcome to discovery. Welcome to motivation, inspiration, learning, laughing, and living in a place where nature sings, friendship reigns, and we come together to form the wind-shaped nation. Welcome to the summer of a lifetime. This is where adventure guides and life is lived with open arms, open hearts, and the unending desire to do more, see more, be more. We come from all corners of the globe. We are different shapes, colors, sizes, and ages. We have different interests, dreams, and goals. Yes, we come together as many, but move forward as one. Together we seek to serve and build up others as we learn more and begin to truly know the one who brought us here. Wind-shaped camps is not just a place. It is a community, a family, a nation, the wind-shaped nation. Welcome to the summer of a lifetime. Wind-shaped camps.
All right, welcome back. Now, I'm sure all of you agree that that is just an incredibly beautiful place. So you have to tell us, what is it about Mount Bethel North Campus that just made you think that this is where you need to be?
Well, one of the things we know is if churches are going to reach people in their community in the year 2017, they've got to do more than just invite people to Sunday school. Gone are the day that people go to church just because their grandmother used to go to church or their parents used to go to church. So these days, if you're going to be relevant in the life of families, you've got to get outside of your walls and you got to go where they are. You've got to do things that are memorable and visible and remarkable, done with a high level of excellence. So we were looking for a campus in this area that resembled that. Where somewhere that really has a high level of potential and tremendous excellence that really matches the Chick-fil-A brand in terms of the experience that it makes available to families. Well, after looking at schools and different church campuses, we came here to this 30-plus acre property and immediately thought, wow, sort of like the time that Walt Disney went down to Orlando and said, wow, it could all start with a mouse right here on this property. It almost felt like that's what it was like here. Same with Truett going to Berry College 30 or more years ago, saying the place we're standing on, it really is holy ground.
And that is definitely a wow when you walk on the Berry campus. I mean, you walk in there and it's wow.
And the same thing happened. We were driving around this town. There's neighborhood after neighborhood after neighborhood and building and shopping center and neighborhood and shopping center and grocery store and movie theater and restaurant and neighborhood. And then all of a sudden, when you're driving down the road, It's like a hidden gem.
Right, because when you drive by the entrance to the academy, there's just the wrought iron and the stone, and unless you come in the gates,
Yeah.
you have no idea.
You could drive past this property on Post Oak Tritt Road and not even know you passed it.
Right, and I mean, as folks can see, and we'll show them some video and clips. I mean, there's a lake here
Yeah.
on the dock, and we've got
There's a swimming pool here.
Yeah, swimming pool, and you've got the baseball fields, the softball fields, and
You've got a whole mountain area with ropes course type activities.
right. Yeah, there's
and
the ropes
archery.
course, the outdoor classroom.
You
got
got
archery,
tennis courts.
and you can have campfires.
You have a basketball gym where we can have things in an auditorium. You've got educational space.
And I'm sure a lot of the people that even live here right around this area in Post Oak Tritt have no idea of all what's back here. So any of them that are watching the video are going to go, really? I didn't know that was there.
And our thought is you can pay hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to travel way out of town. But we can actually do something phenomenal, really even unprecedented, right here in this town on a campus just like this.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what exactly happened. I mean, everybody, lots of folks know about summer camps and all that, and so what makes the WinShape camps for communities special? And like, for example, how are you planning on using this campus here to make it all work?
Well, the first thing that I think is going to be remarkable is our staff. We're going to bring 40, what we think are unprecedented summer staff here. They're going to be college students and 20-somethings
Okay.
that are professionally trained to work with kindergarten through 8th graders. And we
Okay.
think that that's one thing that sets WinShape camps apart. The type of people that you would expect from the Chick-fil-A organization are going to be here working camp this summer. There'll be 40 of them. In fact, we believe so much in our people that we actually moved 2 of them to live in the East Cobb area, not for the summer of camp, but for the entire year.
So those two are going to know by the time camp starts. They're going to know exactly what it's like to be an East Cobber or folks that live in this area.
That's right. Aaron and his wife, Karen Collier, they live in East Cobb, and they're spending their year working alongside of local churches, working alongside of Chick-fil-A's. They're in the local schools. They're a part of Mount Bethel
And
Christian
so, yeah,
Academy.
so even though this is at Mount Bethel Christian Academy, which is affiliated with Mount Bethel United Methodist Church, this is whole county-wide. This is going out to all the different churches
That's exactly
in the
right.
county.
Because our thought is WinShape camps can be a neutral ground where churches can work together, where the Methodist church can work with the Baptist church and the Baptist church can work with the community church. And in that way, we're being the church in the town rather than trying to get people just to a church. And with that, this is also an opportunity for profit to work with nonprofit, for local schools, to work with other local organizations. So really, you're inviting people to WinShape camps, and it just so happens that WinShape camps is the glue that is able to bring all of these organizations together. And we think that's pretty unique. So if you combine all of that with how amazing the amenities are at this campus, it's really a pretty unique combination.
Okay, so now we've told everybody all about the camp and what's going to happen. Where do they go to find out about it?
WinShapeCamps.org.
Okay, so we've got that on the bottom of the screen here.
WinShapeCamps.org/Cobb.
Okay.
And when you go there, there'll be plenty of information about how to register at WinShapeCamps.org/Cobb.
Okay, so
And
you're going to
there,
go online to sign up. And
you don't just have to register for 1 week. You could register for multiple weeks. If you wanted to come for 2 weeks or 5 weeks or 1 week, whatever your combination of weeks that you sign up
Okay,
for.
and so all that's done online. And about how many kids do you think are going to be here every week?
Well, space is very limited, and
Okay.
that's one reason we're trying to get this message out. We're only accepting 250 campers per week.
Okay.
So the space is going to be very limited. I would highly recommend that people register while there's still
Okay,
space.
and so now when can they start registering? For
They
the
can
camp?
register right now on WinShapeCamps.org/Cobb.
Okay, all right. And when does the first week start?
The first week, you'll see it all. The dates are all listed on the website. We'll start our first weeks in mid-June, and we'll do 5 consecutive weeks. There'll be 2 weeks before the week of July 4th, and we'll do camp during the week of July 4th,
Okay.
and then 2 weeks after the week of July 4th. So there's 5 total weeks to choose from, and you can come for one or any of those weeks.
Okay, now I know we talked about Aaron and his wife being in the local area. The other counselors, where are they coming from?
That's an awesome question. Right now, we're in the middle of interviewing over 1,000 people from coast to coast. In fact, just yesterday, we placed some of the staff that will be right here on this team, and some of them are from California. Some of them are from right here in the Atlanta area. We even have some international students that have a strong desire to serve on the team here. So you'll get the best of the very best of all that we've considered, and we'll spend from January to May training those staff. In January, we'll bring our highest level leaders in and train them. In April, we're taking some more leaders to Orlando in the Disney World area. We're going to take them behind the scenes and learn about how to best serve families and make some transferable principles over to what we do at WinShape camps. And then in May, we're going to bring them all together again for 10 more days just to train them in preparation for 250 campers a week coming to WinShape camps right here at Cobb.
No, I think it's awesome news and great news. And as all of you can see, I mean, this is exciting news for Cobb. It's exciting news for East Cobb. And you can see that 1,250 kids from the Cobb County area are going to have a tremendous opportunity this coming summer. So remember, winshapecamps.org/Cobb, where you can find the information. And I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next month.
Each year, our children are put at risk by drivers who ignore bus stop arms and warning lights. In Cobb County alone, more than 1,000 drivers ignore them every day. The Cobb Police Department and Cobb Schools have partnered with Operation Stop Arm to educate drivers about the new law to save lives.
Tragically, a young child was killed at a bus stop by a passing car in 2009.
While we were being interviewed by the news crew, a driver ran through the stop arm of the bus.
We had just installed new stop arm cameras on some of our buses and were able to hand the photo over to law enforcement. And now, with the new law, hopefully we will reduce violations of the stop arm law and have additional evidence to cite violators.
Drivers who pass a school bus with a stop arm activated can receive up to a $1,000 fine from the court and get 6 points tacked onto their driver's history. It is a serious offense.
So next time you're in a hurry and you're tempted to pass a stopped school bus,
Take the bus on the bus!
The Cobb County Safety Village is the most comprehensive safety training environment in the region. Located in central Cobb County, the Safety Village aims to provide the highest quality of safety education available. Primarily designed for elementary-age school children, the Safety Village provides hands-on life safety training. Education is the key to reducing risk and protecting our community and its residents, and the Cobb County Safety Village is the first in Georgia to offer this kind of learning experience. On the 8-acre site is a large multi-use education building which includes classrooms, a cafeteria, offices for employees, and an auditorium made to look like the historic Strand Theater in Marietta. There is also a station for inspecting car seat installation, a free service provided to the residents of the county by Safe Kids of Cobb County, which includes 3 mechanics bays that provide shelter from the elements as well as heat during the winter months, as opposed to before when seat checks were done outside. After walking through the reception area, visitors are greeted with what looks like a small house. This is known as Sparky's house. In the hallway, which is made to look like a street, there is a replica of a telephone booth and a small tree. Sparky's house actually consists of a living room, bedroom, and kitchen, creating an incredibly memorable learning experience that mimics some life-threatening situations that children may face in their own homes. The front door of the house opens to what looks like a regular home on the inside. In Sparky's living room, children are taught about the 3 elements of fire, shown what objects around the house are more subject to catching on fire, and then the home fills with smoke from machines and steam heats the doorknob at the exit. Children must then maneuver, crawling across the floor to keep away from the smoke, and feel the door with the back of their hands to see if there is fire on the other side. The children then open the door and crawl outside to safety. When they are in Sparky's bedroom and the room fills with smoke, the children must then climb out the window with a safety ladder and meet up at the family's arranged meeting spot, the tree outside of the house. After these lessons, children participate in a simulated 911 call, complete with a live operator answering at the other end. Children are also given classes from police officers regarding topics ranging from what to do if approached by a stranger, what to do when you're home alone and hear a knock at the door, and what to do if they find a gun in the house. Interaction and participation by the children is highly encouraged and also provides for a better learning experience. The Safety Village's goal is exactly this: teach children in a unique and unforgettable way and make it as interactive as possible, but do so in a manner that is controlled, supervised, and above all, safe for the students. The David Hankerson Education Building is only the first part of the children's experience. The Safety Village itself is a working village. The land has been paved like a small neighborhood and designed to look just like that, only on a reduced scale. The Safety Village is a child-sized representation of our county, complete with real trees, scaled-down operative buildings with signage, small street signs and traffic lights, and even model homes. Site elements used throughout the village reference those found around the Marietta Square to help give the scene a recognizable and authentic look. The site features 4 distinct areas, which are the Marietta Square, a commercial district, a residential district, and an industrial district. Since it has opened, the Cobb County Safety Village has improved the fire department's efficiency in training students by 200%. Twice as many students have been able to take part in this safety training than last year before the Safety Village opened. It is easier and requires less manpower to have a centralized location, which helps to reduce scheduling conflicts. Before, when 2nd and 4th graders participated in their state-mandated fire safety program, a fire truck with a trailer housing a far less advanced scenario similar to Sparky's house would have to travel out to each school individually and could only handle one small group of students at a time. The Cobb County Safety Village allowed them to build a more complex scenario, which teaches the children more effectively, and they have room for multiple classes at one time. Children will benefit greatly from the knowledge that they will encounter through observation and participation. Learning is essential to a child's mind, and taking part in the process is crucial. The philosophy is simple. Tell me and I will forget. Show me and I may remember. Involve me and I will understand.
You wanna go for a ride?
When I saw your face for the first time, I wondered how your life had been. Had anybody held you or loved you, or had they never noticed you there? What are you doing here? If your eyes could cry, I'd see a tear. The sadness that I see, you're coming home.
Why are you turning in this dog?
Be the best of friends.
Well, we're moving.
How long have you had the dog?
11 years.
You understand the dog will likely be put down?
Yeah.
I'll need you to complete the surrender if you would, please. You're giving up all rights to the dog. Are you okay with this?
Both my eyes have filled with tears, knowing one will find a home, leaving others fate unknown. We're killing our best friends. There's only so much one can do, that's why I'm out here asking you.
Did you want to keep the collar?
I don't think so.
Don't run away from your fear. That lovers need to learn and finally be concerned. They're killing our best friends. There's only so much one can do, that's why I'm out here asking you. How can you help me?
Every year, in Metro Atlanta alone, nearly 90,000 unwanted animals are put to death. It is epidemic and unnecessary. The problem can be fixed. Spay and neuter your animals. The time to act is now. Stop the needless killing. Please help us. www.mostlymutts.org.
Welcome home, man.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
It's close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.